And Chris Collinsworth at Cleveland Stadium. Great first half. The Steelers and the Browns tied at 14. Let's take a look at our Coors Light halftime stats.
And look at the total yards. What a huge difference in this ball game. But you know what it means? Not a doggone thing, because the score is tied 14-14.
The Browns had the big plays. The long strike to Michael Jackson, 62 yards, and the 91-yard punt return by Eric Metcalf, Browns record. Matt Stover to kick off for the Browns to open the second half. Woodson and Stone deep for the Steelers. Woodson settles under it at the 5. Flags go down as Woodson is cracked to the turf after a 13-yard return.
Mike Caldwell on the tackle.
Mike Caldwell on the stop on special teams for Cleveland. A personal foul grabbing the face mask against the Browns.
Ooh. Not a good way to start. That means that it was considered intentional and flagrant.
Personal foul, grabbing the face mask. Number 42, 15 yards, first down.
The guilty party, Louis Riddick.
See if we can pick up Riddick, number 42. Right there is Riddick. He's going to get it and yank it and give up 15 yards. Good call.
So the Steelers in business at the 34-yard line. Steelers have never led. Foster positioning his blockers, gets only a yard before he's thrown back by Mike Johnson and others. Foster saying a little blocking would be helpful.
Really a complete turnaround there at the end of the half, and the momentum is now on the side of the Pittsburgh Steelers. This field goal could have given the Steelers a lead. Remember, that was the first miss of the year by Gary Anderson.
O'Donnell had a good first half.
Sure did.
Play action fake, and O'Donnell with plenty of time. He has Green. He's wrestled down after a first down catch. Stevan Moore wrestled him down by his pads, and that is hard to do. Penalty marker down. He might have had the face mask as well. An 11-yard gain.
Stevan Moore got that big guy down about the only way he knew how. Once he went for the deflection.
Personal foul, 15 yards face mask. Number 27, 15 yards, first down.
Well, there's a cheap 30 yards for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Eric Green, remember, 280 pounds. Stevan Moore, 205. And once you go for the deflection here, once you try to break it up, now you've got to just get him down any way that you can.
And that was by the face mask.
Yep.
And so the ball at the 39-yard line suddenly. Pittsburgh with a first down. Foster picking his way forward. And again, the Browns defense not yielding much to the AFC's leading rusher. That time it was Jerry Ball that managed to stack things up.
There's a pretty sight, isn't it? I mean, just sit and enjoy for a minute.
You know, the dog
Checking
pound
out
too
Jerry
has the
Ball.
best. The dog pound has the best view of Jerry, I think.
They definitely. You know, you're trying to get me killed, is what you are. I already had one confrontation with that big guy. I'm not saying a word.
The dog pound.
I think he looks good.
The dog pound to the right of your screen, in case you were. O'Donnell for Stone, overthrown.
Where Pittsburgh has had their success today running the football has not been into that group. It has been towards the outside when they get Barry Foster stretching the defense towards the corner and making the big guys, Perry and Jones and Jerry Ball, and those guys run laterally, because there are guys that you're not going to knock them over. You're not going to push them out of the way. The way to beat the Cleveland Browns is to make the big guys run.
Ball leaving the game on 3rd and 7. Eric Green in motion. O'Donnell looks for him. Almost taken down. He finds Hodge, and Hodge has a first down. Stevan Moore stopped him, but it went for 14 yards on a heads-up improvisation by Neil O'Donnell.
Rob Burnett had him by the ankle, but couldn't do anything with him. He's got him. That's not a sack. Maybe a year ago, grasp and control, I don't know, but that rule is now gone. It gave Neil O'Donnell a chance to find Merrill Hodge, who has come up with several big plays in this ball game, just crawling and sniffing and scratching, but he couldn't get the other leg. You got to get the other leg and yank him down.
O'Donnell's having an excellent game. Foster to the 20, gain of 3. Pepper Johnson met him head on.
Tom, this is nasty football. I mean, I'm telling you, you got Barry Foster, big back. You got Mike Johnson and Michael Dean Perry and the Jerry Ball and the big guys. Just think about running this football. Ordinary human being could not handle this. Coming in there, and now they're going to just nasty football.
Foster has outrushed the entire Cleveland team. He has 57 very tough yards to 30 for the Browns. O'Donnell fired a bullet to Green. It'll be a yard or so short of the first down. Mike Caldwell threw him back. An injured player might be Burnett.
That's not good. Anytime the first thing that they grab is the knee, is Rob Burnett. One of the strongest players on this Browns team. Phenomenal year a year ago. A great season so far this year. Working against the big Leon Searcy. Right down on the cut block. Yeah, I think he's going to be okay. I didn't see anything major. When you're playing the Steelers, you see saying, get away from it. Well, I mean, the big guys, they don't want the little trainers and equipment guys hanging around. Just get away from it. I'll be back. Hio Sangapulatelli.
It's 3rd and 2 for the Steelers. They've converted half of their 6 third downs in the game. Foster didn't make it. Mike Johnson was there again.
Now the referees decide the outcome of football games. They go in there and they mark this one. If they give you an extra couple of inches, if they mark it off the right foot, you have a first down, mark it off the left foot. It's 4th down and you got a big decision to make.
Bill Cowher right now on the sideline with Ron Earhart.
He wants a measurement. Does 2 things. It helps him with his decision and gives him a little time to think.
Earhart looked like he was ready to call a play.
There's Ron Earhart. They're going to go for it, I believe. This is, I don't think it's a first down, but it's only going to be about 2 or 3 inches short. Long 2 or 3 inches.
Glad you're not an official.
And then once again, I'm right as usual. They will kick a field goal.
You're batting 1,000 on this.
That's 100%. I'm just going to shut up.
Well, Gary Anderson had his first miss of the season earlier, and it was from similar range. It was 28 yards that he missed. This one is going to be a 30-yard attempt.
But I think the distance that they were short influenced Bill Cowher's decision.
This could give the Steelers their first lead of the game. He got it. Gary Anderson's 30-yard field goal puts Pittsburgh on top for the first time. Downtown Cleveland, Ohio, you know, when the Cuyahoga River burst into flames in June of 1969, it was like a wake-up call to this city to clean up their act, and they've done so. The river is clean, Lake Erie is clean, and the downtown is booming, much like Pittsburgh has done. Their renovation of downtown. The kickoff by Anderson, down to the end zone by Leroy Horde, and the Browns will take over at their own 20-yard line. First half possessions by the Cleveland Browns.
Really, the big play was the punt return by Eric Metcalf. Michael Jackson had the dynamic play as well, but you take away the mistake on the part of Rod Woodson, dropping coverage to give up one big play in the punt return. The Browns offensively really haven't done a lot today.
Vinny Testaverde, first possession of the second half. Two key face mask penalties helped Pittsburgh get the go-ahead field goal. The pass intended for Michael Jackson is behind him and incomplete.
You know, Michael Jackson really caused a firestorm here a couple of weeks ago when he said that Bill Belichick had basically hired Jim Brown to spy on the players, that quarterback Bernie Kosar and running back Leroy Horde were paying the price for questioning Belichick's game plans, and commented that he wished the Browns would come up with an offensive coordinator. Things were a little bit hairy here for 10 days or so, but apparently all is forgiven now.
Got a look at Jim Brown on the sideline. Well, Bill Belichick more or less diffused the issue with some humor. Here's Metcalf bursting free. He has a first down across the 30. Woodson had to trip him up, but covered 12 yards. That's a look at Gene Williams, the starting right tackle of the Browns.
They really don't have enough depth on this offensive line to survive many injuries. Gene Williams, they picked him up from the Dolphins in the offseason via trade, and he can play every single position on that offensive line, so it would be a big blow.
He'll be replaced by Ed King when we return to Cleveland Stadium. Third quarter, Cleveland Stadium, 17-14. The Steelers with a field goal off their opening possession to take their first lead of the game. And this has been a terrific game, a beautiful afternoon, a fierce rivalry. I don't know if you can ask for anything more.
Nah, I'm having a ball. I even got a hot dog at halftime. I'm as happy as I can be.
Right now, it's the Cleveland Browns' turn to try to answer the go-ahead score by the Steelers. First possession by the Brownies in the second half. And they have a first down at the 20. That play will be whistled dead before it gets started. By the way, the injured player, Gene Williams, walked off the field while we were away in commercial, and Ed King has replaced him at right tackle. And now Williams has come back out on the field.
On the center, 5 yards, still first down.
Steve Everett with a false start must have moved the ball 5 yards against the Browns. And the penalties have hurt Cleveland today, especially the two 15-yard face masks on the last Pittsburgh possession.
And the Browns offensively aren't good enough to overcome these kind of piddly mistakes. We saw the same thing in Indianapolis in the first half when Bernie Kosar was benched in the second half. They were constantly first down and 15 after stupid penalties.
Ball set back to the 26. Testaverde deep to the sideline. Jackson all alone. Diving catch. He'll be marked down at the 30-yard line. Johnson and Lake caught up after Jackson had to make the diving grab. 44 yards, a beautiful catch by Michael Jackson.
They all hesitate and go. When you're playing against aggressive defensive backs like D.J. Johnson, you sit down like you're going to run a pivot, a hook kind of a route, then take off. Great job by Michael Jackson. He didn't break his momentum when he did the hesitation and was able to run full speed right by D.J. Johnson, and then the great catch.
And held on to the ball as he collided with the turf, holding his neck. This has been a game full of big plays. Metcalf dodges one man, breaks to the outside. Metcalf for the end zone, knocked out at about the 3-yard line by Ron Woodson. Two of the best go head-to-head, and Woodson stops Metcalf from the end zone. 25 yards.
Tom, there's only one man in the National Football League that's going to catch Eric Metcalf on this play, and it's number 26 of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Ron Woodson. You could watch this in the Olympics if you wanted to. Those two guys ripping down the field. Great run by Metcalf. He danced inside, nothing there, and then the quickness to get outside and almost break it for the score.
Fake to Vardell. Testaverde touchdown. Wolfley. Ron Wolfley's first touchdown of the season, only the second receiving touchdown of his career. Stover for the extra point. So the Browns answer the field goal with a touchdown. 2 big plays. Jackson and Metcalf set this up.
Ron Wolfley just sneaked through on the play action. The Steelers obviously expecting to run. Kirkland committing to the run. Nobody left in the middle of the field. And even the great speed of Greg Lloyd couldn't get there to break it up. Gotta be... That guy's happy, you know that.
The Cleveland Browns owner has seen his team come back after falling behind on the first series of the second half. And big plays, man, have we seen a ton of them today by both teams.
How about that? You score a touchdown, then you got to go chase the kick. He's the special teams captain. He's whooping them up now. Always the first one down the field. We'll watch him on the kickoff. He says, you know, the bigger they are, the harder I fall. He loves it. You know, Wolfley's the kind of guy that would fit in the dog pound.
He would be right at home,
yeah,
wouldn't
he'd fit up there with all those ugly guys. Watch number 26 chase this kickoff. He's liable to go berserk now.
Well, Victor Frank and Dick Klein are zeroed in on him as Stover sends it downfield. And into the end zone where Stone will down it. Well, let's watch Wolfley anyway.
Wolfley, I think, was a little bit gassed. I think the adrenaline was going a little too high. He's got it going as fast as he can here. Charging down the field. There's always somebody assigned to him. They're going to block him, then they're going to push and shove a little bit. And, you know, that's the part of the price. You're either a star or you chase kicks. Wolfley chases kicks. Got the headband on. Looking good.
First down, Steelers. Neil O'Donnell for Green. He almost got it incomplete.
Did you feel the press box bounce when he hit?
On the Richter scale.
The big man laying out. He's had a big day already. Mike Johnson with the coverage just a little bit long, but the effort was a great one. Because of the fact that the Cleveland Browns appeared to be in position, Stephon Moore may have come up with that interception, but for the great effort by Eric Green.
The winner of the game takes over first place in the AFC Central. Browns leading 21-17. Foster stopped behind the line. Jerry Ball.
You talk about a poster child for the dog pound. There he is. There's an interesting blocking scheme. We'll just go ahead and let Jerry Ball just come in and bust it on Barry Foster's head. Neil O'Donnell didn't want the football, neither did Barry Foster. Hard to come up with negative plays against these Steelers, but Jerry Ball just made one.
And the dog pound is having a ball. And a timeout has been called. I think the Browns called the timeout. No, it was Pittsburgh. Steelers called the timeout. And now O'Donnell will confirm.
And the theme song for the dog pound comes on. They're bad to the bone. There's some pretty people up there now. I don't think you're allowed to take your seat in the dog pound. I came here for 8 straight years and I never saw anybody sit down.
Well, the Canines will get a week off next week as the Browns have a bye along with the Steelers. But here's what we have for you next Sunday on NBC. It all starts at 12:30 Eastern Time with NFL Live. Most of you will see Joe Montana and the Chiefs take on the Marino-less Miami Dolphins. Others will see the Battle of New York, the Jets and Giants, or regional matchups, all coming up next week on NBC. 3rd and 16. Intercepted. Spear still going and fumbles the ball. The ball's loose. And I think Pittsburgh got it back. They did. Pittsburgh recovered. Spear, the rookie from Florida, intercepted and then fumbled. And Justin Strelzik recovered it.
Really a poor throw by Neil O'Donnell right into the arms of Del Spear. Now you've got a chance to clinch up this football game. Get down. You don't go for the extra yard. I mean, that was Merrill Hodge. That's about the 3rd big play that Merrill Hodge has made in this game. Perhaps the biggest so far, stripping the football from Del Spear.
And Strelzik cradles it. So new life for the Steelers. The ball at their own 16 and a first down. Barry Foster looked like he lost his footing, then is covered.
Tom, this is the hardest part of the field to get a drive going. This is the baseball part of Cleveland Stadium. They've just resodded this part of it. They're right around where the pitcher's mound would have been. Of course, they finally took that thing out. And so it's almost impossible to get your footing. It's really a lot easier to throw the football down here because the defensive line doesn't get a chance to get their footing, and it gives the offensive lineman protection.
Foster shakes one man and makes a nice run out of it. Barry Foster twisting and turning short of the 25-yard line. Mike Caldwell, Stevan Moore getting him down, but Foster showed his ability there, and he's still fired up.
And you know what he's saying? He's saying, who's supposed to block these guys? James Jones, just like Jerry Ball a minute ago, came through completely unblocked. I have never seen this much confusion on the offensive line for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, they are in complete disarray. And Barry Foster's hot.
3rd down and 2. Bad snap. Hodge on the bounce. Hodge has a first down. That was unbelievable.
Well, that's about the only way that Merrill Hodge gets to run the football anymore, is if they hike it to him. Eric Green went in motion, and the snap hit Eric Green. The crowd noise had such an impact on the play. That's what happened. It wasn't a bad snap. It just hit the 280-pound Eric Green. Another huge play by Merrill Hodge. Not only, see, he doesn't just fall on it here. Then Eric Green turns around and gets a little block, and they pick up the first down.
And very rarely do you get a true bounce off this grass. As John Jackson was shaken up, the left tackle of the Steelers.
That would be a major look. What a year John Jackson is having this year. He's given up just half a sack all season. 2 weeks ago, he ended San Diego's Leslie O'Neal streak of a sack in 8 straight games. And then last week, he shut out Ronaldo Turnbull, who was leading the NFC. And you see Bill Cowher saying, guys, you got to relax out there. You're losing your mind. Remember yesterday he was telling us that the reason it's so hard to win here is the crowd treats it like a playoff game, and nobody can ever win on the road in playoff games. And you get a feel for it right now.
5:35 left in the 3rd quarter, 21-17. Cleveland leading Pittsburgh. First down play. Wide open. Stone. And Dwight Stone chased out of bounds at the 40-yard line by Terry Taylor. It's another Pittsburgh first down.
And fortunately for the Steelers, they've got John Jackson coming back in, because watch the mismatch on the outside. Neil O'Donnell almost got his head taken off. And there's Dwight Stone, another one of those crossing routes that Nick Saban was so afraid of.
Spreading the ball around is Neil O'Donnell.
You know, they almost lost Neil O'Donnell. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers offered him huge money, and there was a big debate as to whether or not the Steelers were going to match it. Last minute, they decided to. A good decision.
Play clock was at 1. They got it away, but Foster is trapped and ridden down by Mike Caldwell.
Barry Foster, the ball carrier. The tackle made by Mike Caldwell.
Caldwell, the rookie linebacker from Middle Tennessee. Third-round draft choice.
And Caldwell is a guy that's really known for his speed, and you saw it there. He was able to run down Barry Foster from behind.
Foster's had a tough day. Still has gained 59 yards and has the 2 big scores. Jerry Ball might have been offside. Was he drawn? Let's see.
Searcy moved, though. It was a matter of whether or not Ball made contact before Leon Searcy moved. It was really close. I don't think it had anything to do. The movement on the offensive line by Searcy didn't have anything to do with Ball jumping off.
Start on the offense, moving prior to the snap. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. The defense is in a neutral zone. They will be
Does Searcy move before Ball makes contact? That's the question. I think that's the right call. I really do think it's the right call because I didn't see Jerry Ball make contact, which is kind of hard to believe that he shot between the guard and the center. Didn't hit anybody, but I don't think he did.
Almost intercepted again. O'Donnell threw the ball, and Mike Johnson was lurking right behind Eric Green. Broke on the football, but couldn't hold on.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. All kinds of opportunities now for the Browns. For 59 is just going to break. You just can't drop that ball. Oh. Only linebackers drop those passes. Wow, that's a big play. And put that on top of the fact that Del Spear made the interception and then fumbled.
Just over 4 minutes left in the third. Cleveland up by 4. This is a third down pass from O'Donnell. And he has once again Graham, and Graham with a twisting, turning reception for 19 yards to the Cleveland 45. Spun down there by Eric Turner, but Graham is having a big day.
They've been going back to the middle of the field. Look at the holes right there in the middle, in between the zone. There's always a hole. The hard part of that play is you have to have enough protection to allow your receiver to get in there and work behind the linebackers. Nice job by the Steelers' big guys.
Former Buckeye has collared 5 of them this afternoon. First down, Steelers at the 45 of the Browns. In the flat, Foster. Dropped by Stevan Moore, but a gain of 5. What a weapon is Barry Foster.
Really just good, hard-nosed, tough, playing for first place in the dirt and the grime, and the only thing we're missing now is a little snow.
That's what Clay Matthews said. He's disappointed the weather was so nice today. Foster cuts back. He'll be a yard short. Pepper Johnson made sure he didn't get the first down.
Nice job here by Leon Searcy working for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Watch the determination on Michael Dean Perry right there. He's just going to keep pushing. This is just a dogfight. Now, these guys have been going at it all. Pushing, shoving, kicking. Do whatever you can. Keep Michael Dean off your ball carrier. Good job by Leon Searcy.
Third down and about 2. Eric Green holding on and then dragging Eric Turner with him. Is that guy strong? 7 yards and a first down.
And Nick Saban's going crazy right now. He says, I got the perfect coverage. All I got to do out here is make a tackle. I've got my leading tackler, Eric Turner, and you just can't bring him down. He's just too much man. And there, it's just dragging him along for the first down. Eric Turner is a huge hitter. Just had no shot whatsoever to bring down Eric. What a weapon this guy is. If he just get out of the way when they snap the football, he would have played a perfect game so far.
Cleveland has been able to cut off the vaunted Pittsburgh rushing attack, but O'Donnell has passed for over 200 yards. Misfires on that one. On the sideline, intended for Dwight Stone.
Remember now, the Steelers are down by 4. Field goal doesn't really help them in this situation. Still plenty of time remaining, though.
1:28 third quarter. 21-17 Browns. This is the 12th play of the Pittsburgh drive coming up. Foster on the sweep. Nothing. Rob Burnett out there in a hurry. Joined by a bunch of other brown-shirted defenders. And as we approach the 1-minute mark, it'll be 3rd and long for the Steelers.
This is the best job these guys have done getting out in front of this stretch play. Merrill Hodge got the kick-out block. The nice job inside by Burnett and Jones just stuffing that play. That's been the Steelers' best running play so far, and the big guys got out in front that time and shut it down.
Final minute of the third quarter. O'Donnell for the corner of the end zone. No, incomplete. Dwight Stone fighting for possession with Stevan Moore and Najee Mustafa. And the ball falls incomplete. And Stone may be hurt.
The entire stadium held their breath when this one was thrown up. You knew from the outset it was going to be a jump ball between Dwight Stone and Stevan Moore. Here it comes. Who wants it the most? Oh, I think Stone had it for a second, and then Moore just ripped it out at the last second. Just got his hands in there and ripped it out before he hit the ground, because had he hit the ground with the ball, would have been a touchdown. Probably just got the wind knocked out of him. He landed right on his back. Great effort by Dwight Stone.
39 seconds left in the third quarter. The Browns leading 21-17. We'll be back to Cleveland in a moment. And the Goodyear blimp floating high above Cleveland Stadium, giving us our beautiful aerial views today on a gorgeous clear sky day. As you can see, the Goodyear blimp Spirit, based in nearby Akron, Ohio. Short trip over for the game today. 21-17 as Anderson lines up for the field goal and hits it.
Field goal is good by Gary Anderson.
Gary Anderson from 46 yards pulls the Steelers within 1 with 34 ticks left in the third quarter. Welcome back. That's a look at Mark Carrier, the Cleveland receiver, knocked out with a hamstring injury earlier in the game. Dwight Stone, the Pittsburgh receiver, just had the wind knocked out of him before we had the field goal attempt. He's going to be okay. Update on Jerry Osofsky, the Pittsburgh linebacker. He has a dislocated left knee and has been taken to the Cleveland Clinic. It's been a tough afternoon. Anderson's kick taken at about the 2-yard line. Baldwin returns at 18 yards. And the Browns will take over there with 25 seconds left in the third quarter.
Cleveland begins play first and 10 at their own 20.
Time of possession heavily in favor of the Steelers. Wow. But the big play capability of the Browns has made the difference.
That's what it was. The 2 long passes to Michael Jackson, the hesitate and go, and then the broken coverage by Woodson, the punt return. Cleveland's winning.
the one, just got it off. Testaverde's in trouble and sacked at the 8-yard line. Donald Evans and Kevin Green for a loss of 12 on the sack of Testaverde.
And give credit to D.J. Johnson. He wasn't fooled that time. They tried to come back with a little hesitate and go to Lawyer Tillman, but he didn't bite on it, and that's what allowed the sack. Here comes big Kevin Green flying around. He comes over from the L.A. Rams. Had a huge year last year, led the Rams in sacks and tackles, fumble recoveries. 76.5 career sacks coming into this game. Chalk up another one.
That's the end of the third quarter. Should be a frantic finale. Cleveland leads by 1. Back after these messages from your local station. Cleveland Stadium now glowing like a jewel in the tiara of downtown Cleveland as we begin the fourth quarter. Flags down as that play aborted before it began. This doesn't count. They've blown it dead. That was a 17-yard scamper by Eric Metcalf that looks good but counts for nothing.
No, I think they're going to allow that one.
I thought they blew it dead. The whistles were blowing.
Well, if it's on the defense, they didn't blow it dead. I think the Steelers thought the same thing you did.
But I heard the whistle.
Got to be careful. Might be those boys in a dog pound again.
Well, it might be.
They threw a flag earlier. They probably have whistles too.
Offsides. Number 37, defense. That penalty is declined. They'll take the result of the play. Third down.
It has to be illegal procedure, of course, for the play to be stopped, but I swear the whistle's blew.
Carnell Lake was coming on a blitz, tried to jump the gun, and then the defense of the Steelers just seemed to relax.
I swear, I think they relaxed because they heard a whistle. Because I sure heard one. Testaverde's pass. Ford makes a 360 grab and has a first down. Carnell Lake wrestled into the turf.
Remember the year that Horde had a couple of years back, 9 touchdown passes, and for whatever reason, he hasn't been used as much in that receiving role, but has always come up with big plays, catching the football out of the backfield. You know, he's one of the guys that Michael Jackson said that Leroy Horde was in Belichick's doghouse for criticizing his game plan. Well, now Leroy Horde is back in there. So is Michael Jackson, and the only one not back is Burt.
Testaverde on the draw to Metcalf. Dancing his way forward for a short gain. About a yard and a half before he's countered by Kenny Davidson.
Tom, I think this is just a huge game for Vinny Testaverde. They put him in last week against Cincinnati, kind of a gimme win. You know, the Browns really expected to win. But now Vinny Testaverde is really put to the test. He's under a 2-year contract here with the Browns for $1.4 million. Bernie Kosar just signed a new contract for almost $4 million a year. So if, in fact, Vinny Testaverde can win these kinds of football games, you just can't imagine that Art Modell is going to be able to keep both of them with the salary cap next year.
Backpedaling, Testaverde throws it away.
Now, how's that not intentional grounding?
He was not outside the tight ends, which is where you have to be.
I'm with you, Bill. There was no rollout. You're allowed to intentionally ground the football now if you get outside the tackle box. You tell me, does he get outside the tackle box on this play? Because there was not a receiver or defender in sight.
Third down 8 at the Cleveland 35.
They're blowing. That's a blown call. That's intentional grounding.
With Greg Lloyd bearing down on him, he threw it away, but got away with it. Third down. And with 2 seconds on the play clock, Testaverde doesn't have his people in the proper position and calls timeout. Timeout comes at the 13:03 mark, and the Browns clinging to a 1-point edge. Looks like a painting, doesn't it? A brilliant sunset over Lake Erie. And here in Cleveland Stadium, it's 21-20 with the Browns facing a 3rd and 8. Testaverde has Metcalf short of the first down, I believe. Depending on the spot, it looks like it will be short. Carnell Lake banged into Metcalf and made sure he couldn't get that additional yard. It would have meant first down.
No brainer here. You punt the football. They want a measurement. Bill says, you doggone right, get it out there. We may get a kink in the chain or anything. Take a first down any way I can get it.
It is Cleveland Stadium after all.
That's right. Yeah, believe me, you never know what can happen there. But it was clearly short. Metcalf, you say, why didn't Metcalf go up a little bit further and make the play? Well, he did have enough room for the first down, clearly short. Did have enough for the first down when he first ran his pattern, but the pass kind of brought him back, and he couldn't afford to take a chance on that thing getting intercepted. Metcalf be on the right and the left side of your screen. And we'll watch it again later. But this is the right decision by Bill Belichick. Got to punt the football, give your defense a chance. But it was a good drive, Tom. A good drive from the standpoint they got it out of their own zone. Now they're going to make Pittsburgh go 80 or 90 yards, provided Rod Woodson doesn't take it the distance.
And the dangerous Woodson standing on his own 10. The same spot that Metcalf set sail in the first half for Cleveland. Hansen sails it downfield, and it hits the 5. And it can't be saved. Great try on the part of Hairston, but it'll be Steelers ball at the 20.
Steelers will be in play. First and 10 at the 20.
Welcome back to Cleveland Stadium. Tom Hammond, Chris Collinsworth. 12-18 left, fourth quarter. The Cleveland lead, a tenuous one, 1 point. Hansen punted it 58 yards, but a net of only 38 as the Steelers take over after the touchback. O'Donnell's pass is complete to Hodge. Gain of 8. Hodge bumped out by Clay Matthews.
Oh, here's Merrill Hodge having a nice game today. Out there working one-on-one against Matthews. Makes a good move, goes up, concentrates, gets his feet down in bounds. Doing all the right things today.
Actually got only 7 yards, so it'll be second
down
and 3 or 4 yards. Second and 4, they'll call it. Biggest passing day of the season for O'Donnell. Approaching 300 yards. There, catch made by Ernie Mills for the first down. Bumped out by Eric Turner. O'Donnell has really spread the ball around to his receivers. Mills catches that one.
Now the Browns are getting a little conservative on defense. They played a lot of man-to-man early. Terry Taylor giving a lot of room underneath. Neil O'Donnell doing the right thing, just taking what they give you. Now Nick Saban is probably going to tighten it up as they get closer to midfield.
O'Donnell still has it, and he has Green. Eric Green into Browns territory to the 47-yard line. Pepper Johnson got him down, and that's not an easy task. It was 18 yards for the Steelers.
Tom, here is the dilemma. How do you cover this guy? You want to play zone, but you can't play man-to-man because somebody's got to cover that guy. Eric Turner can't do it. Pepper Johnson can't do it. Clay Matthews can't do it. So you have to sit in the zones, and then Neil O'Donnell picks you apart on the outside with Wyatt Stone and Jeff Grant.
O'Donnell over 300 yards. That's his career high. O'Donnell scrambling here and knocked out of bounds for a loss of 2 by Rob Burnett.
I didn't think that was a very good play by Neil O'Donnell. Only had one guy out in front of him, Rob Burnett. He had a blocker. O'Donnell had a chance to pull up. There was nobody chasing him from behind. What, I mean, watch it. You got the blocker out in front of you. Just let him block, stand back in here, and throw the football. And because you're outside the pocket, he didn't have to take the loss. He could have just flipped it out of bounds and wouldn't have lost the 2 yards.
Second down, 12 at the Cleveland 49.
Actually, second and 12. And Pittsburgh takes its second timeout.
Boy, is that a killer.
Only one timeout left for the Steelers. They trail by 1. You always know it's a big game when you see the Goodyear blimp overhead, as it is today. The Goodyear blimp Spirit from nearby Akron, providing us with our aerial views, such as this one of Cleveland Stadium in the gloaming. The 87th time the Steelers and the Browns have met. It's been a terrific game. Second and long. O'Donnell being chased. Flips it complete. Foster bumped out of bounds. Terry Taylor knocked him out of bounds, but a big gainer for the Steelers, 21 yards, and a first down in Cleveland territory.
Couldn't really tell if this was a design play or no, that was not design play. Now Barry Foster, he just kind of hanging around. It's like a naked bootleg was the effect of it. And Barry Foster fortunately kept his head up, turned around, found the football, and now the Steelers are in field goal position to take the lead.
Foster, 3 receptions, 40 yards, under 100 yards rushing, but he does have 2 touchdowns. Here's Foster, sweep to the left, blocker in front. Foster out of bounds at the 15. Duval Love leading the play. Foster followed him for another first down.
Duval Love had a terrible game against his old teammates, the LA Rams. But now watch him out in front, chugging as hard as he can. And he's going to just bury Stephon Moore. Get a little push out of bounds. Barry has that bad shoulder, remember. Probably had something to do with the fact that he didn't lower it there.
The ball's at the 15 of the Browns. First down for the Steelers. They trail by 1. Less than 10 minutes remaining in the game. Battle for first place in the AFC Central. Foster cuts back. He's to the 10. Dragging tacklers with him. Mike Johnson finally got him to the turf.
Huge difference now for the Pittsburgh Steelers, down to just 1 timeout. But it really makes a difference in this game whether you score the touchdown or the field goal. If you have to go the entire distance, the Cleveland Browns team, much more difficult than if you only have to kick a field goal at the end of the game. Big couple of downs here.
Key 5-yard run by Foster on first down, though, gives O'Donnell some flexibility. He'll give it to Foster, who hands it on the reverse. And slipping and falling. They try the trick play, and Matthews again would have none of it, as Mills got the handoff from Foster on the reverse, and it'll wind up being a loss on the play.
They had a chance to make this one work. You'll watch Mills come back around for the double reverse. O'Donnell's going to be out in front. Had a chance, but remember, they're on the baseball part of the field. The Cleveland Browns know that. You don't see them running any reverses down here because you just can't make the cut. It looks pretty. It's all nice and green, but it just won't hold you.
They tried the reverse to Mills twice now, and they've lost 8 yards. O'Donnell, incomplete. Tough hit as Mills was the intended receiver. Hit hard by Terry Taylor to knock the ball loose.
Very, very close. Let's see if we get pass interference. Good play by Terry Taylor. Good play by Terry Taylor.
Hit him hard and got a hand in there to knock the ball away as well.
And a tip of the hat to the officials as well. There's a ball game deciding non-call by the officials. Good job.
29-yard field goal attempt by Gary Anderson could give the Steelers the lead with 7:54 left. Up and through. Anderson's field goal puts the Steelers up 23-21. And there is a great night of primetime programming coming your way on NBC this evening, starting with John Forsythe and an all-new eyewitness video. Then the most written about and talked about new show of the season, an all-new Sequest, followed by an NBC world premiere movie event, Remember. That's all coming up tonight here on NBC. Anderson's kick will be fielded by Baldwin, and he takes it to the 22-yard line. Return of 21 yards, where the Browns will take over now, trailing by 2.
This is Vinny's moment. He gets a chance to prove now to the fans of Cleveland that he should be the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, that Bill Belichick was right in his controversial decision to put crowd favorite Bernie Kosar on the bench.
Play action pass. Testaverde will run. Hit hard as he crosses the 30-yard line. Barnes and Green banged in good. And what an ironic twist.
Vinny Testaverde showed great heart on that play. He wanted the first down. He wasn't going to slide. The game meant too much, but he paid the price for it. And Bernie's got his jacket off, his baseball hat off. I talked to him yesterday. He wanted to play. He wanted a chance to prove himself. Looks like he's going to get it. Many people have questioned the heart of Vinny Testaverde. Just watch this play and question no more. The guy's getting a chance of a lifetime. No chance at a slide. And maybe
a late hit.
Well, wasn't very physical. Obviously, the damage had done. Rod Woodson kind of jumped on at the end, but you'll see that really didn't put his forearm. That's a good no call by the official.
I think it was the hit of Kevin Green that did the most damage, and Testaverde's up.
Now let's figure out if he knows if he's in Tampa or Cleveland.
You see the little pat on the back, though, for his friend Bernie. It's been very difficult for the two quarterbacks with all the controversy because they are good friends. In point of fact, Kosar helped recruit Testaverde, and listen to the crowd. Would this be a storybook ending?
This game just keeps getting better.
Bardell has a first down across the 35 to the 36. Parnell Lake on the tackle.
Can't tell exactly what the injury is, but it appears to be the left arm, not the throwing arm of Vinny Testaverde. But the nice thing for the Browns is you've got your starting quarterback from the beginning of the season in, so if he's at all banged up, why not? Let Bernie do it.
Draw play, Metcalf bounces to the outside. He didn't get much. The pursuit of the Steelers was able to recover and stop Metcalf for a short gain. Give credit to Donald Evans.
Remember the big play earlier in the ball game in which Metcalf was able to bounce it outside? Well, he tried the same thing here. A nice job by Rod Woodson. Michael Jackson tried to block him, but Woodson just a little too athletic on the corner. Good job of containing.
Metcalf knocked out of bounds a yard short of the first down by Greg Lloyd.
That's what Bernie does best. He is the best in National Football League history at not throwing interceptions. Ball control passing, the quick drops, the quick throws, the reading of the defenses. I can't think of too many I'd like to have in the game any better than Bernie Kosar as the clock ticks down.
3rd and 1. 5.5 minutes left in the game. Fake to Metcalf. Kosar still has it. He's going to run for it. Bernie Kosar dives for a first down. The least probable play of all time.
And even Art Modell's applauding this one. They say he's not fast enough, he's not quick enough, but baby, he got that first down, and that's all that really matters. This is as fast as it goes. This is top gear. You're looking at overdrive for Bernie Kosar, and he got it there.
You mean that wasn't in slow motion?
Oh, no, that was as quick as it gets.
Metcalf stopped for a big loss. Great penetration by Evans for a loss of 8. Barnes was there as well.
Remember Reggie Barnes in the game because of the injury to Jerry Osofsky. He's the rookie. Number 50 here. Come through, get the penetration, miss, get back up, hang on. One of the disadvantages of the smaller backs, they go down with the arm tackles.
Now it's 2nd and 17. Kosar overthrew his man off the hand of Rico Smith and incomplete.
Bernie had a chance. Rico Smith was there. He was popping open at the last second. Just barely overthrew that one. I thought Rico had a chance to lay out for that one, maybe make the sensational play.
3rd down, 17.
Almost tipped it into the hands of the defenders. You still have 3:49 left. You don't want to throw the interception here. You still have a chance even if you have to punt.
3rd and 17, trailing by 2. Sacked.
Guess who?
Ron Woodson. The man of steel with the big play of the game.
And that drive was really thwarted by the blown draw. When Eric Metcalf was trapped in the backfield, it took Bernie out of his game. Bernie is more of the short ball control kind of passer. That afforded the Steelers a chance to blitz because it was 3rd and so long.
And now the playmaker Woodson awaits the punt. Woodson from the 10. Got it only back to the 15 before he's pounced on by Stacey Hairston. 5-yard return after Hansen sent it downfield, 51 yards.
Remember, only 2 timeouts for the Cleveland Browns. 3:19 left. You still have the 2-minute warning, so in effect, 3 timeouts remaining for the Browns.
Circle November 13th on your calendar. That's the college game of the year, the battle for number 1 most likely. Florida State and Notre Dame cruising to a meeting of unbeatens. It'll be a major upset if they should lose before that date. Florida State and Notre Dame, the 13th of November here on NBC.
What you think we'd have to give Todd and Charlie to let us do that football game?
Cleveland lighting up and the fans trying to light a fire under their defense. O'Donnell still has it on the bootleg and throws it away. Final score in, Detroit has beaten Los Angeles. Lions 16, Rams 13.
Very interesting call there. You, in effect, gave the Browns an extra timeout. They obviously wanted to come out and be aggressive. You don't want to be conservative down there knowing the Browns are going to be playing for the run. Good job defensively by Cleveland being prepared for the play action.
Foster bounces ahead. He got about 8 yards. Terry Taylor covered him. And as we come to the 3-minute mark, it'll be 3rd down for the Steelers and about 2 yards to go, maybe 3. Vinny Testaverde has suffered a sprained right shoulder. He will not return. If the Browns pull it out, it'll be up to Bernie Kosar.
Playing the ball game.
Foster, stop. James Jones and Rob Burnett.
Everybody in the stadium knew what it was going to be. Stretch play right. It's been the most effective play in the Pittsburgh Steelers playbook throughout the year. They go back to their bread and butter, but not this time.
Timeout Cleveland. They'll have a chance to pull it out when we return. Playoff atmosphere at Cleveland Stadium. Vinny Testaverde is done for the day. This game has had more drama, more storylines than a Broadway play. Royals with a punt. Eric Metcalf has already taken 191 yards for a score. He has this one at the 25. Metcalf to the outside with room. Metcalf at midfield. Metcalf cuts back. He's still on his feet. Metcalf will go for the score. Unbelievable.
Did a great job of taking a couple of steps up. That set up the wall. And watch the little guy work. Watch the heart. No way you keep him out of the end zone. 2 in 1 day? Are you kidding me? Remember, he came into the ball game. He was questionable. Didn't even practice until Friday. Had a bad knee. What a play. What a player. And can you imagine the moment? Set it up. You see the defenders moving inside. A very close block at the point of attack to get him going. And then it's all Eric Metcalf.
What a beautiful shot of Eric Metcalf. In one game, he has tied the Cleveland season record for punt returns for a touchdown, held by Leroy Kelly. 91 yards in the first half, 75 yards, maybe to win the game with 2:05 left.
Woo. Papa would be proud.
A yard deep. Woodson stopped at the 23-yard line. A return of 24 yards. Pepper Johnson with the tackle. 1:58 left. Welcome to those of you just joining us. Tom Hammond, Chris Collinsworth at Cleveland Stadium. 1:58 left in the game. Cleveland leading Pittsburgh 28-23 after Eric Metcalf's second punt return for a touchdown in the game.
The biggest part of this play was that Mark Royals, the punter for the Steelers, kicked it so far it gave Cleveland a chance to set up the wall. And then it was nothing but sheer beauty by Eric Metcalf.
He's tied an NFL record with those 2 punt returns for a score, 91 and 75 yards. Now Neil O'Donnell, who's had his best passing day ever, tries to rally the Steelers. Hodge on that reception has a first down across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Tackle made there by Mike Caldwell, 13-yard gain.
Remember, the Steelers burned 2 timeouts, only 1 remaining. Have to stay in a hurry up.
O'Donnell already has passed for over 300 yards. His big tight end, Eric Green, can't hold on to that one. Incomplete on the hit by Mike Caldwell.
Mike Caldwell, the rookie in the game, he was almost lying down on the field in between during the commercial timeout. These players are absolutely shot. It's been a frenetic pace the entire game today.
1:30 even left in the game. Yancey Thigpen, an extra wide receiver, comes on for the Steelers. Eric Green out of the game now, limped off. O'Donnell being chased, gets a saving block. He'll run and crosses the out-of-bounds marker just a yard in front of first down territory. Chased out by Mike Caldwell as O'Donnell runs for the first.
Really absolutely nothing working down the field. Flushed out of the pocket by Michael Dean Perry. And then Caldwell, I think, makes a good decision there. You don't want to come up with a cheap penalty because those referees get a little touchy. Eric Green apparently has hurt his quadricep, and he has been the big play guy in this one for the Steelers so far.
Steelers trailing by 5. They need a touchdown. 1:23 left. O'Donnell fires, almost intercepted. Stephon Moore had a swat at it, but couldn't hold on.
And Tom, I really think this is a bigger game for the Cleveland Browns than it is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Remember, Cleveland still has to go to Pittsburgh, but the Browns, if they are hoping to win this division, have to win at home. And Stephon Moore just had a chance to ice it and let it slide through his fingers.
Belichick's Browns with a chance to take over first place in the AFC Central. These 2 teams tied for the lead coming in. Almost picked off. O'Donnell feels the heat. Nice catch made by Stone, but very little gain. Ball loose. Recovered by the Browns. Caldwell recovering the Dwight Stone fumble, and the Browns with 1:09 on the clock take over.
We've seen Stone on the crossing routes all day. They like to get him the ball, let him run with it. Stephon Moore, who missed the interception earlier with the strip, and the big turnover. And the curse of Cleveland Stadium continues for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Browns trying to extend their streak here over the Steelers to 4 in a row and 11 of the last 12. Bernie Kosar taking over for the injured Vinny Testaverde will down it. And the Steelers will use their last timeout. 1:04 left in the game. It looks like it'll be the Browns in first place. Steelers' last chance went away with his fumble.
Stephon Moore just got his hand in there. I don't think he was really intentionally trying to do it. Just an accident. You see the frustration by Justin Strelsick at the end as he knew this football game had slipped away. It's almost unbelievable, the curse of Cleveland Stadium for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even in their heyday, in the 70s, they won 4 Super Bowl titles, and yet they were only 5-5 in Cleveland Stadium. the playoff atmosphere, the emotion when these two teams get together. Bill Cowher's seen it from both sides.
Former Browns linebacker knew it would be a tough one today. Our thanks to teammates John Betzler, Travis Hill, and David Clancy in the booth. A game filled with drama and big plays from start to finish. It's been a near classic.
We'll get to see him do it again in Pittsburgh, though.
Metcalf with 2 punt returns for touchdowns, 91 and 75 yards as the Cleveland Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here is the Hager wrinkle-free cotton super play of the game. Guess who?
No words are necessary. Just watch and enjoy.
Metcalf's punt return, our super play of the game. And the Cleveland Browns defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers 28-23. NFL Live, Jim Lampley will come up right after these messages.